Hey,
Rania, good morning.
lovely morning. Good morning, Eric. Are we excited?
100%. Can't wait.
Perfect. Yeah. What are you most looking forward to this webinar?
Yeah, so we've been working on this for the last 3 years.
Yeah,
So it's been building a lot of momentum. So we shared everything about intelligent workspace yesterday at the customer event
yeah,
live in the Netherlands. We just finished the Dutch webinar where we had a lot of people over in the webinar. I think over 100 plus attended. For this webinar, we had 50 plus people signed up, but many people in different regions. So they will watch back on the recording.
yeah,
So we know that always for international webinars, it's a bit hard to plan as we have partners in the US towards Australia, New Zealand in different time zones.
yeah.
So all the people in Europe who signed up or in different regions. So lovely welcome. I know it's sometimes hard to plan these. That's why we can record it and send it to you to watch it after. It's a bit different in regards to questioning. If you have 100 plus people in the webinar, you get many more questions.
Yeah.
But I think overall, even to watch back the recording, I look forward to get all the feedback either today or after the weekend when our partners watch this and our customers.
Yeah. Exactly. But all the questions that are asked are appreciated.
100%.
100%. Yeah.
So,
So
Rania,
let's start. So yeah, we'll talk you through all the things that we were busy with for the last months and years to yeah really realize the intelligent workspace for our customers. So of course, I don't want to spoil that much, but especially with AI and stuff like that, and that's something that we are really happy and enthusiastic about to show you guys today. So
yeah. And
welcome
I
from
just want
everyone.
to give a big shout out to our colleagues, right? So of course, Ranier and I are presenting this today, but it's something we worked on with the whole team, and especially for marketing, sales, but also the product team for the last years. So big credits to everyone who's watching this from a Workspace 5 perspective. It's us presenting, but it's the hard work from everyone. So I just want to thank you for all the hard work you've been doing to get where we are today.
Exactly. I'm glad that we don't have to do it just with the two of us. So, what can
That
you
would be a nightmare, Ranier.
exactly. So, what can you guys expect from today or from this hour of webinar? So first, we want to talk about Workspace 365, about what are we doing now, where are we now as a company, so you guys have a clear image of what we are doing now. Then we will guys talk you through the launch of the intelligent workspace. So what does it include? What does it mean also for us and for our customers? Then we have a really nice reference case of Savantzorg that applies in this practice. So you really have like a clear image, like how does it work for a customer like Savantzorg. And then of course the big question, how are we dealing with privacy and storage of information? Because that's mostly the first question that you get asked by this topic. And then we of course have some room and some time to answer some questions because yeah, as we said, the more questions, the better. So please ask your questions if needed.
Yeah, and to answer, so we have some colleagues moderating on the back end. So if you have questions, they'll either be answered real life or we keep them till the end if you have some time for questions. But we want to make it dynamic. We also filter some questions. Some questions may come from partners or customers, or if you have a question in the future, if you join from a different time zone or later, if you could join today, feel free to reach out to us either via email. It's eric@workspace5.net. So feel free to drop me an email and to send me your questions one-on-one or to someone else from the team.
Lovely. So maybe it's good to first introduce ourselves. So starting by me, I'm René Bakker. I work already a few years within the company, whereas on forehand I mostly talked to the customers at the beginning of the relationship. So really get to know the customer, like where are they now, what are the challenges that they face the most within the digital workplace, and how can we maybe get a translation to the solution Workspace 365. So I know a lot of the different verticals that we have, and now I'm going to be more as a customer success maker, focusing on the current customers, like how can we improve and make impact with the product that we are from today on. Some practical information that's maybe good to share. So as Eric already mentioned, it's being recorded. So at the moment that because of different time frames you can't join it, you can always watch it afterwards. So it will also be shared with you after the meeting. And we do appreciate the questions a lot. So the more interaction that we have with you, the better the webinar will be. So please ask your questions if you have any questions. Then I'm handing it over to you, Eric. Welcome.
Thank you. So my name is Eric Nicolai. I'm one of the two co-founders of Workspace. So we started this beautiful company 15 years ago. We actually started somewhere close by our current office, but this is our office in Nijkerk in the Netherlands. This is where I'm working today. Reinier is in a different room, but we are in the same building. So I'm sitting somewhere on the right, Reinier somewhere on the left, but we are divided throughout the whole building. And in essence, we've been trying to simplify work for many years, right? So simplify everything simplified. That's the purpose we live by. And to give you some perspective about simplification, right? So one day a month, on the second Friday of each month, we host a simplification day of the company. So every second Friday, as a company, as a team, we get together and we simplify everything internally, right? So every day we work on version 5 to simplify this for you, for our partners and customers. But also when you grow a company, things get complex over time, right? So we found it very important that we only live simplification for our customers and partners. We also kind of try to keep version 5 a simple company. And I think it's really valuable to really kind of focus on what you do and how you help your customers and partners, and to constantly improve how we do this. So if you ever have feedback about, I can't get to this process, I don't understand how to do this, share the feedback, because it's our purpose to really simplify everything, not only in the product level, but also kind of how we work together with our partners and customers internationally. So for everyone who is either new to version 5 or just to give you some perspective, so in some form or shape, most of us who've known version 5 have seen an element of a workspace, right? So a digital workspace that you can use to access everything you need, from applications to internet-like information like announcements, events, knowledge base. So the workspace really became something we try to personalize to make sure you have information that is relevant for you, and have a digital cockpit that you can start up in the morning to make sure what's expected from you in your current role in the company you work for. Right? So make it as relevant as possible, make it as personalized as possible. But the workspace was all about how can we help you to really kind of give you the best workspace experience to start your day, to get you through the day. And this is how we kind of developed version 5 over time. Of course, the form, the shape, the layout has improved, but overall it was like really kind of building a digital workplace. Because, and the beauty of this, yeah.
Oh, sorry, I wanted to ask, like, what was the reason that you guys started in the first place 10 years ago, 15 already?
Yeah, we started 15 years ago. So originally our goal was actually very simple. We wanted to replace all the existing software. So we started with an all-in-one application where we say, hey, we want to replace everything. Our first customers told us, okay, it's really cool that you want to replace everything, but we already have so much. Can you just help us to launch and to start and to aggregate everything? So that's very pivoted. And I think it really took off like in 2013, where we really kind of helped customers launching applications, accessing information, like more aggregating. But simplification was always the start. But how we helped customers to simplify changed over time. And I really would like to kind of thank our partners and customers as well, right? So we do a lot of innovation. We collect a lot of feedback from our partners and customers how to improve the product. And everything we show today is really based on the feedback from every one of you. So it's not only us thinking about, hey, what else should we do or what else could we improve? So we get a lot of feedback about how to improve the current product, but also everything we are demoing, we are showing today is really about input, like a logical next step of all the feedback we run with our customers, with employee feedback, let's say the really kind of the usage feedback from the people who use version 5. How can we help you to get through the day? How can we help you to find information faster? How can we help you to guide you through the information chaos? And that's really kind of how we ask questions and how we iterate on the product. And I think that's also the best way to start the question, right? So what can be improved in the workplace? I think every time when we start a conversation with customers, it's about what can be improved. And often I try to use comparisons like, okay, if you would like to improve one thing in your new car, what is the thing you really want to say, this is what it needs to have? Otherwise, I wouldn't trade my car for the new one, right? So we always think about it should solve something for me. And I think the one thing we get back is people say that the moment how much time it takes me to find relevant information. Right, so I think as an application package, as an application portal, we can allow you to access all the applications. But if you end up with 15 applications, we won't improve the speed of how fast you access information. We can only help you to access the application. But with search, we try to do something with making it more relevant and help you to find what's relevant. But I think the speed and the direction of where to go if I need help, that was the most often we got feedback about from our customers and partners. And in honesty, so over time, as we digitalized everything, and especially now with AI era, it's only more and more tools that we see around. It's not that we're reducing the amount of tools, we're just increasing the amount of systems. And we still have to do more with less people. I think the burden of colleagues like, hey, I have to go through everything so fast. And I think it's not that people don't want to, right? So people love to work for the company they work for, otherwise they will quit their job nowadays. So it's not that they don't want to, it's the problem that we really created the digital chaos of information overload. So we created so much digital information that sometimes it's really kind of a struggle of how to go through things. And I think our conclusion was in all our efforts to really kind of digitalize everything, in all efforts to kind of put everything in the process and in the system, we haven't made it easier together. And I think that was kind of the starting point of our working towards intelligent workspace. So if you really have to make a next step of helping people who use Workspace 5, we have to make it smarter. We have to make it more intelligent, because just putting more apps, putting more information to the workplace is not helping. And to put things in perspective, I really would like to kind of switch between AI and Workspace, because intelligence is our name for AI, and Workspace is the thing we've been doing for the last 15 years. And to put things in perspective, how we look at AI, I want to give kind of a brief explanation about the things we interpreted from AI and the things we use as a starting point. And I think in essence, and maybe simplified, and of course we love simplification, that's why I use a simple form. There are three forms of AI, right? So generative AI, I think the examples we all know, the Copilots, ChatGPT, Gemini, and so many more that can help you to generate either content or images or video. So it's people inputting something I want and to get something in return. And I think it's getting better and better over time, right? So there's the default questions in ChatGPT is getting better, so you can get better output. And I think the next step that many companies and people are looking at is, okay, what can it do, right? So can I say, okay, I want to have input, and my input has to do something, right? So I want to make a booking for a restaurant. Can then the AI do the booking for me, right? So it's all about workflows that do things in sequence. Or I'm sick, can you cancel my shift, right? So it's all kind of things we do in a workflow. So step one is having a consequence on step two. Or if a shift is canceled, I have to say I need to find someone else, right? So workflow can set things in motion. And agentic AI, I think, is the last step where you say, hey, this be different. Kind of, you see already people say we build an AI company. It's agents that kind of represent the department, and agents that really kind of take off the load from people. And I think agentic AI, I think, is a different topic where the world is looking towards, like, where is it heading? We really started with the idea, like, how can generative AI and workflow AI be implemented within Workspace 5, and how can we do it in such a way that our customers and partners can embrace it? We think, hey, this is really helping our workforce to make things simpler. And when I think about simplicity, I always try to make things tangible and logical. And I think the best way to interpret AI is to see how AI is helping us to change search. Because if you Googled in 2025, this used to be the results we all used to see, right? So I was asking for implementation of a digital workplace. And what I was getting was a result of different websites that were promoting either advertised, paid for, or natural by the right content about this is the information I find in Google. And now you can go to the website of Work Hero or Frank Watching or Lemon Learning. So it's all websites that do something about the implementation of a digital workplace. But it's all company related, right? So you kind of get information from a specific company. And if you're looking for it to buy a TV, then often you have to go to the website to buy it. But often things you search for is just knowledge interpretation, right? So you have a question you want to interpret. And if the question was from Wikipedia, you have to go to Wikipedia to kind of read through it. And I think what we really trying to emphasize today is, like, what we see changing is that search is going from keyword search, which really asked kind of people to interpret what do I find, to a different form of search, where it's not only about the search of the keyword, it's really about the implementation and the summaries. So nowadays, if you Google, you have an option for an AI summary or AI mode. And the AI mode is not only giving you links to visit, it's giving you a summary of everything relevant for you. Of course, it will be ideal if Workspace 365 was mentioned in this summary, but obviously they mentioned Microsoft 365 and Google Workspace as possible solutions, but also kind of give pitfalls, or you can continue to ask questions about what's the best reference case or the implementation plan about Google Workspace, or why are people switching, or how are people adopting. It's really about aggregation and asking questions. And this is how we see the search era already being replaced by AI modus, where people say, hey, this is really helping me. And research shows that 70% of the people actually stops their search behavior after this particular search. So it's changing a lot. I think a lot of marketing agencies are second guessing their strategy because this has so much impact on everything you do in advertisement. It's not a problem, but I think it will definitely have a lot of impact. But if we imagine this way of Googling through the internet, what if we can offer something similar to our colleagues in the company? And not for Google, but for all our applications. And this is our starting point from the Intelligent Workspace. We want to offer a Google-like experience from your workspace to allow you to ask questions from all the systems you may have in your organization. And the way we summarize it, we want to have one digital place for all your questions. And to do this, right, so you want to make sure, like Google, you are connected, right? So if you open up a restaurant tomorrow and you don't list it in Google, people can't find you. Maybe from word to mouth, but if people can't find you, you won't get any bookings, right? So if people start a new business, the first thing they worry about is like, am I connected to Google? Can Google find me? Am I connected to the right booking websites to book a table at my restaurant? So the only way we can allow and create a Google-like experience, we have to connect all the apps to the workspace. And this basis is everything we worked on for the last 3 years, to be able to connect every application to Workspace 365. And a connected workspace, as we define it, is the basis of everything I'm going to show you today.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Why is connection so important for maybe also the future?
Yeah, of course, connectivity is a choice, right? So it's not that we forced to do it, but if it's connected, you can really make a lot of intelligence, and you can find much faster, right? So everything in a silo is not helping, right? So you have to go through, like every app we have today has their own mirror glass or their search glass where you say, hey, I want to search for, like every app offers search. But this goes through search in 2024 like Google, and you have to go through every single application. But you have to remind, okay, I start with a new company, they have CRM, they have ERP, they have a HR system. I really need to know, where do I go for X? Where do I go for this? Where do I go? It's a lot of interpretation. And if you are able to connect the workspace with all the apps, people don't have to think about how to interpret, because we can help you to interpret for you, which goes much faster.
Okay.
And for everyone who knows Workspace 365 for the last years, you see something completely new, and it's the pop-up on the right. And the way we define it is that we say we really want to personalize our AI philosophy within Workspace 365, and that's the way we brand it as Kelly. So with that, I wanted to use Kelly as your digital guide. And Kelly as a digital guide can really help you to answer any question. So it's about, you can ask questions, hey, coming from the internet. You can ask questions that comes from your HR system. You can ask questions coming from different knowledge-based articles about the HR handbook. Or you can ask him a question, what's the payment term from this customer? Because if it's connected to the workspace, we can find it and we can present it. So it's really about being able to Google through your organization with the same experience, but as it's connected, we can find everything and we can show it to you. So a quick summary of how we present Kelly within the workspace is that it's a search through all your different applications. You are able to ask things in plain language, and we can interpret it for you and make it smarter, so we can give context to the questions. And based upon your question, we are able to present everything, like either appointments or open tickets or open invoices, or the last invoice from this customer, or if the invoice being paid. So all those different questions you may have, you are able to ask Kelly, and Kelly can find the information for you. And with that, we also try to summarize things that are relevant for you. So if you have a question, hey, how do I put an expense in? So things you normally go to your colleague to ask if you don't know, but then you can just ask Kelly and we will find it for you. And if we can't find a system, we just point you in the right direction who to ask, right? So it's not always that we have all the answers, because if it's not written in the system, we can't find it for you. But most often we do know who might be the right person that knows. So it's like, okay, if Kelly doesn't know, who may know next? So that's kind of the logical thinking we put in our Kelly as a digital guide. And really, we want to say, hey, how can we make it as valuable for you as a customer and partner to use this? Is that we want to make sure that we don't store any of your data. And this basis is really the design philosophy of Workspace. We don't want to hold your data. We don't want to learn from your data. We only want to present your data. So like we've been doing with SharePoint, we're doing with Exchange, we're doing with so many different connectivity already within Workspace 5. We do the same for AI. So we only say we present the data that's relevant for you. We only find information that you're able to find, and we do everything in real life. So if you look at it in the bigger picture, so within Workspace 5, you have your full workspace. On the right side, you have your Ask Kelly button. I see this one is not translated the button, but normally it say Ask Kelly. If you click on Ask Kelly, it actually opens up like a chat window, either on the right hand side, or you can go a bit wider where it's an overlay on your workspace, and you can start typing those questions. And all those questions will be answered real life. And it also shows where they define the information, either in SharePoint or Sage or your other financial application, CRM, doesn't matter. If it's connected, we will find it, display it, and present it back where did we find the information. And you can either open it or say, this is enough information for me for now. And of course, for everyone using Workspace 5 on a tablet or mobile, it's also available in the mobile and tablet app. The first start navigation with the spaces, and the second point in navigation is Kelly. So you can either type, you can dictate. So we translate, we convert voice to text, and then getting all the information. And especially a lot of our customers have a lot of kiosk workers as well. So people on the go, they can just talk to Kelly, and Kelly will find the information, display it for you. And we will not demo the real life, the dictating function, but we will definitely demo some elements real life. And I let it over to Reinier.
Thank you very much, Eric. I will do. So hopefully you can see my screen.
Not yet.
Not yet. And now?
Now I do, yeah.
Perfect. So what you see here is that we are at the landing page of Sarah. And as you see here, you have the button of Ask Kelly. And you can ask Kelly everything you want. So for example, for healthcare, you can ask what your planning is, I don't know, or something like that. And it will just guide you through everything that you need for that day. In this case, I'm worker Sarah, and I'm curious how I can access my money dance, because that's an application I use a lot. So I can just ask, how can I access my money dance? And what it does, it just thinks and is going to look, hey, is there maybe something or a protocol or anything that's that I can relate to this question? And maybe Eric, it's good, like, why does it take a few seconds to get the answer for you?
Yeah, it's a good question. So everything we do is real life, right? So it's just a prompting, is asking. But if you, for example, ask, okay, what is our privacy policy, or what's our expense process, right? So then we go through the source, hey, because we know HR related systems have to be found in other systems. So if you just ask, let's say, work related questions, we just go to the kind of say HR related questions should go to this application. Customer related questions should go to CRM. So we can guide and learn from the system, and we can help our partners and customers to improve the prompting per tenant, per customer. So if you type in, for example, what is our security policy, or anything else we just have in the different systems?
See, maybe something comes up. We'll see. Because I think it's also good to know, because exactly as what you said, because it's all live information, I can just chat whatever I want with Kelly in this case. But at the moment that I click away the Kelly, the conversation that I had are gone, because it's all based on live information. So you see here, now it's going to tell me something about the security policy. But for example, if I'm Norwegian and I'm not really good in English, because for example, I'm not really good in English, so I prefer Dutch sometimes. I can just ask Kelly like, hey, can you translate this to Norwegian?
And I think
And
the
then
beauty
it's,
of what you're demoing now, so everything
yeah,
we shared until now is kind of how we present company AI, right? So in company AI is everything related in your systems. And what is happening now, we are actually combining company AI with public AI. So what's happening, we are translating information that's coming from your systems to the internet using our language model and then translate it real life. Again, we don't store this, we just do this real life, we will delete it as well. But it's combining public AI, generative AI, with company AI. And I think, and it is configurable, right? So if you say, I don't want people to go outside our company AI because that's just the data we want to stick there, it's possible, it's configurable. But this kind of shows how you can combine the power of company AI with public AI all together. Because you can also ask, hey, help me to write X or Z. So use the generative AI component within Workspace D5, but just the way to aggregate all the information to be able to ask any question. And I think you may have question, hey, what's the open ticket? Or it's just what is the status of my request? So
yeah,
any question you may have coming from different systems or help me through or anything. So, or what's the latest files I'm working on? Or what's the latest PowerPoint, right? So we can find it. So if you say, hey, what's the latest PowerPoint on the Workspace D5 presentation? We will go to SharePoint and we'll say, hey, this is the latest presentation, has been created by marketing and not by someone else privately. So we assume that the marketing version is the better one to present, right? So there's a lot of interpretation based on data, but often what we see is that iterations together with the customers are really making the kind of the results we see and the way we steer people to the right direction is really making this better.
yeah,
And for people's perspective, so we've been testing this with a very select few customers in the beta program for the last 2 quarters. So as the first customers actually testing the whole AI implementation of Workspace 5, testing Kelly as a digital guide. And based on their input, we really improved already so many things. And now, as of today, it's available in public beta. So every customer can sign up to start testing this. But already the first beta phase, the private to closed beta phase, already helps to get so many use cases, so many connectivity. Hey, how can we route this? How can we guide people here? And really kind of improve the way we present the data towards an employee from, hey, how can we improve their experience?
yeah, yeah. Maybe also good to know that, of course, Sarah has her own rules and her own rights. So at the moment that Sarah can't see something within, for example, the knowledge base, she also can't ask Kelly because Kelly is first going to look, hey, is Sarah eligible for this information? So can she see this information? And then she will give answer based on what Sarah can see.
Yeah, exactly. And if you click on the very small pin, you can see how you can also kind of make the chat a default option of your workspace, which is kind of the natural. If you then inside your workspace, every time Kelly is just there to ask, or you can enlarge it and then it becomes an overlay, right? So it really becomes a big larger for you to start asking questions. And also one iteration we are making towards the public availability in May, where you can also create different segmentations, different projects, different chats, chat history. So it really becomes obvious that it's not only your current chats, but you can also go back and just say, hey, how can I work together with my colleagues on different things?
Yeah.
And again, that's public AI, it's configurable. So if you say, I want to prefer stick with company AI, our applications, then no data storage is there. And then we just say, hey, this is everything you keep in your environment. We just do everything real life.
Perfect.
Okay, so let me switch to my screen, which I think everyone will see now back again.
I do.
Okay, perfect. And so new technology is beautiful, right? So we see so many things happening around us with AI. You can't open LinkedIn, everything is full with more AI tools, more AI tools. And the way we look at kind of the adoption of Workspace 5 and specifically about Kelly is really we have to help our customers and partners to really implement this step by step. So it's not where we say, hey, this is technology, go for it. Of course, you are able to do. We really want to help you and the people work within your company to really start small. So you can start with a specific amount of people, say, how is it helping our organization to find faster, to get faster answers, and to really kind of build confidence where we don't feel insecurity about I don't find the answer to my question. It's really about getting the right use case, share people how we use it, and then really kind of build some enthusiasm about how Kelly can help them in their specific line of work. And we really kind of made it simple. So we tried to define 3 steps that is really required to build this intelligent workspace as an endpoint. So it really starts with building a complete simplified workspace where IT and communication really go together about doing everything integrated, and then make sure that the workspace is connected to all your apps. And last, if it's connected, we can help to configure Kelly to really be able to find all the questions relevant and you need to know based upon the company information, company connected data, but also things that are in a simplified workspace that may be either a whole data in the hub for University 5, the internet, or any other source. And of course, the big question is like, how are we going to price this? Like, can we afford this? What's the price point? And that has been a topic we've been discussing within University 5 internally for a very long time. So we wanted to make sure that we don't hold technology only for the very few that can afford it. So the way we thought about AI is that, hey, we want to make sure that everyone thinks, hey, we can start using this, and we don't hold back on, let's say, expensive licensing cost. To say, hey, we have to pay 20 or 30 euros, pounds, dollars, whatever currency you're in per month to afford this. So the way we thought about the digital guide as a pricing model is to go fully pay as you go. That means we go for a credit-based system. So you only pay per question. So every question is a credit. And the way to kind of think about the cost price for this, or that's the price we charge to our customers and partners, is that we calculated that if every employee in your company asks 5 questions a day to Kelly to help them, 5 questions a day, every single day of the month, you end up paying around €1, £1, $1 per user per month. So if we multiply to 10 or 15, which I think is highly unlikely because people just work through the day, of course we help them. But if you look at the prices of other technology nowadays available, it's easy in the 20, 30 price point. And we think that by going for pay as you go, we make it fully scalable for our customers and partners. Hey, yes, we want to start using this. We want to enroll this to our people. We want to give them the tools they can use to go faster and to find what they're looking for, and to go for a fully transparent pricing model. And yes, when we go live in May, we will kind of also kind of offer the possibility, hey, I want to get a price alert if we exceed certain spend, or we want to maximize the spend, or we want to say we get more bundles so you get discounts. All those things will be incorporated, but we want to go for a 100% transparent model because we want to get better in helping your colleagues to find what they need. And then we think it's very logical that you also pay more if they use it more. Because we don't want to have a double-edged sword and say, hey, it's working better, but you still pay the same, or the starting price is too high. They say we can't start because we can't afford it. And especially if you look at larger organizations with a lot of kiosk workers or part-time, it's really hard to justify the starting point of an X price, say, without knowing the ROI. And we just want to make it as transparent as possible from day one. So, hey, it's available for all customers within the current University 5 licensing, to have Kelly as digital guide in addition to your current University 5 license, and you can just start using it. And if it's really helpful, of course, you will start using it more, but only because it's really helping your colleagues to get more out of their day. And I want to kind of help you to kind of define how we helped Kelly to kind of say, what are you able to do? Because what I found very important to share is the way we build the architecture. And I don't want to get into every detail. Of course, we're willing to do this more one-on-one, or maybe in the chat you can ask the questions. But the way we set up the architecture University 5 is that a customer already has a tenant within University 5, and this tenant is stored in your specific region, right? So your data will never leave your University 5 tenant in your region. And the same logical we applied for AI, right? So we have a customer tenant holding your specific language model with all the routes and where to go for. And even within that model, we don't store anything. We don't make the model learn. Of course, we make the model smarter on where to go, but not specifically with the answer, but only with the direction. So think about it. We are getting smarter at like defining the signals on the highway, like which exit to take. We don't hold the traffic itself, right? So the only way we can improve it is like trying to help you to go faster. but we don't want to say we hold the data of where people go, where you went, right? So that's not our role. We only want to share and help you to find. And that's a very different approach than many other language models where they store a lot of data and they learn from your data. And we don't want to be a data holder from your data because it's your company, it's your data. The only thing we want to help you is to find faster. And it's a very different perspective than many AI providers are doing. And also from a role perspective, right? So we ask Kelly as a person. So if I ask something that is stored in SharePoint, I can find it because I'm Eric. If Rainier is asking the same question and he has no right to this specific SharePoint location, he will not find it, right? So we do everything on a usage-based level and also on a user level. So we say, hey, this is Rainier asking for this information. Do you have, within his kind of authentication zone, do you have this data? So everything is kind of user-based. And this is kind of taking away the doubt. So is it kind of a big data storage where we say we access everything in SharePoint, everyone can see everything. We only show where Rainier has access to, where I have access to, where you have access to. And of course, data governance needs to be okay, right? So the governance of the data, if Rainier could find it, we can also find it, right? So it's no different. And of course, AI is helping to find things faster. But the logical is that we say, hey, this is this person. Can you help me to find this information for him? And of course, hallucination is a big part of AI. And that's also something people always mention, like the information may be wrong. But especially on the company AI level, we don't interpret much data, we just summarize it. And it's not that we don't think, we think for ourselves, we just say, this is what we found. And based on what we found, we give you a summary. If the data we found is incorrect, then of course, it may give you wrong answers. But it's not that because we interpret it, it's because we found the wrong data, right? So if the invoice is wrong, we will find the wrong invoice data. If the invoice is correct, we will find the right invoice data. Like if Rainier has 30 days of left and it's 2026 rather than 5, then of course we'll find the wrong data. So the data is on the system and we will find the data. We don't interpret it for you. And with that, we really want to make sure you see it as a trusted guide and not only as a logical next step in regards to kind of our AI implementation throughout organizations. We really want to make sure that all the iterations we've done with our customers and partners about the positioning of Kelly as an AI agent is really about how should we do it? How should we build it? Should we sacrifice speed of search versus, okay, I need to wait 5-6 seconds to find the answer. What is the best thing to do? And we always took security first as a starting point because we never wanted to compromise that the data you have in your system has to be trusted by someone else to really get the most out of it. And for me, that's just the basis of our partnership is that we want to help you to kind of build the best workspace for either your employees or your customers if you're a partner from us. But it's not our role to say we hold the data. And it's also our kind of our promise to you that we want to make it as transparent as possible, not only price-wise, but also the way we build the architecture for you to understand how to implement and how to kind of embrace this. Because I think the architectural decisions on many AI companies should be a reason either to go for it or not to go for it. And I just want to say that all the decisions we made have been validated with all our customers in different verticals, from legal to healthcare to government to education. And this is the route we took based upon all the feedback. So time-wise, so I think we are at 39, so we promised to end it at 45. So I know we promised the business case from Savant. So I just want to summarize it in 2 minutes because I don't want to take more of your time that you committed to join. But Savant was one of the customers that joined in the beta program. And the funny thing is that they had already had the idea about building an AI assistant that could search through everything. So they went on the market, talked to different people, say, hey, what system can you recommend to do what we want to do? And then someone say, hey, I spoke to Workspace 5 and they're working on this. So they might be the right company to talk to. And they were already using Workspace 5 as a workspace, but not for AI. And then the ball started rolling. And I think the feedback they've been getting from their test group on like how to evolve and how to really implement it and how to improve it has been beautiful. So the feedback from employees say, we feel less insecure. We know where to go. We can give time back to the customers we work for. I think it's just being so rewarding, not only to think about the product we designed, but also to see it real life with so many customers in the beta program. And as we started the morning session, we also shared, hey, You can join the beta program if you're already a customer of a partner, or we can book a meeting where we say, hey, how can we help you to get to such a connected and then intelligent workspace? The feedback has been phenomenal, and I think that is just a credit to the team of making the right decisions on help us to get here where we are today.
100%.
So, Ranier, are there any questions in the chat left for us to answer?
I don't see anything. So I think that the story was that good, Eric, that there were just no questions.
Yeah. So, do you want to give a few minutes to ask questions, or do you prefer to end the session? What do you prefer to do?
No, let's say that if there are any questions, of course you can always ask us. If there are questions, just leave them in the chat. As we said before, there are people from Workspace that can answer the questions. So I just suggest that we give everyone a really lovely day, a nice weekend, and that we'll hopefully talk to them soon.
Yeah, I'm just typing my email address to the chat for everyone.
Perfect.
So if you have future questions, if you join later, so feel free to send it to me personally. If I don't know the answer, I will get you someone who knows, or I can just ask Kelly, and probably she knows as well.
Perfect.
But now, thanks for joining. I hope you have a great weekend, or if you watch it back over the weekend or next week. Thanks for joining, and thanks for all the great things we've been doing for the last period of time.
Exactly. Have a nice day, everyone.
Thank you very much, guys. Thank you.